Heyo.
Hi, everyone. Hi there, and welcome to Commerce Unpacked. I'm your host, Gina, and we are so excited to have you all join us for our first episode of ShipBob's newest short form series. In each 15-minute episode, I'll be breaking down the biggest stories in global commerce. We'll also bring on a subject matter expert to unpack new strategies that can help e-commerce brands grow, sell, and deliver delightful shopper experiences through best-in-class technology. So whether you want to sell on TikTok, lower your operational costs, or open new retailer partnerships, there's something for everyone on Commerce Unpacked. So let's get into it. So a little bit about ShipBob. We are the #1 fulfillment platform for the fastest growing e-commerce brands. We seamlessly connect into over 100 sales channels, and we have a suite of direct integrations with the leading technology providers. We also have over 50 global fulfillment centers everywhere from North America, Europe, UK, to APAC. Great. So I'm going to kick off some of the week's biggest headlines. PSA, first of all, it is Chinese New Year coming up just over a week away, starting on February 10th, ushering in the Year of the Dragon. Most Asian factories are closed as workers across the supply chain travel to visit loved ones, and everyone in e-commerce knows how important it is to plan ahead here, even as early as Q3 to ensure inventory reaches your fulfillment center ahead of key Q1 shopping days like Valentine's Day. Next big story is the ongoing crisis in both the Panama Canal and the Red Sea. First, with the Panama Canal, severe drought has been cutting ship volume by almost a third. It's limited to 24 ships a day, which is about 14 fewer than normal conditions. As one of the world's most important trading routes, the Panama Canal carries about 400 million tons of cargo, or 5% of global maritime trade. On the other side of the world, in the Red Sea, rising military tensions are disrupting a pivotal route for container shipping and international commerce. 15% of global traffic flows through the Suez Canal, making both of these major trade route disruptions front of mind for all supply chain leaders. By increasing costs and increasing time in transit, where we have shippers scrambling for alternate routes, including air freight, which we all know is a bit more pricey. On the brand side, Tom Brady just announced that he would be consolidating his nutrition company, TB12, a ShipBob customer, by the way, and apparel company Brady with the training brand Noble. We're really excited to see where this merger takes him. Lastly, to our topic of the day, which is scaling on TikTok. The short video app recently announced it's opening a series of in-person locations where creators can build and create live stream content and sell their products, which is just doubling down on their massive e-commerce play and emphasizing the importance of great content to sell your products. Now, I'm happy to introduce our first guest, Derek from Pipe17, the fast and easy way to make omnichannel order flows touchless, cost-efficient, and effortlessly scalable. So welcome, Derek.
Heyo, how's it going?
We're really excited to have you, Derek. So I think, one of the biggest misconceptions about TikTok is maybe it's just a plug and play operational process, when really you need sometimes that middleware piece to connect to your Shopify, your Magento, your BigCommerce platform, what have you. So can you tell us a little bit about how Pipe17 solves that gap and some of the big things that operators have to be mindful of when exploring this new channel?
Yeah, I will answer that question, and then I'll share more details on it, because I think the first thing you should know is that there is a very simple, TikTok to Shopify one-way integration that can push your orders from Shopify or from TikTok to Shopify, and can also sync your products back from Shopify to TikTok Shop. That's great if Shopify is your source of truth. You want the orders to come in there. The products always match the SKUs that you have on TikTok Shop. And there's essentially, let's say, no order complexity. It's just a one-way flow, and that's going to work for you. But it quickly starts to break down in process, because the first thing you'll realize when you start to do volume on TikTok Shop is that the TikTok, one of the rules is that you have to hold it, that a customer can cancel within 60 minutes. If you are pushing automatically from TikTok Shop over to Shopify, that order might instantly then therefore go to fulfillment, whatever your fulfillment process might be, right? And so if you're doing 10 orders a month, you might be able to manually catch it and cancel before it fulfills out or something like that. You're doing 100 orders a month, this might happen to you once a day, or once every couple of days. You're doing 1,000 orders a month, this is going to happen every day. You're doing 10,000 orders a month, this is going to happen multiple times a day, and you're going to start to really like eat a lot of costs and you'd have to put a person on it, basically. And think about the job of that person and how terrible this job is, just like waiting to see if a return comes in over on this screen and then rushing over here or calling somebody on the phone to like, hey, don't send that out over on that one, right? So there's a process breakdown, right? An operational workflow breakdown that occurs. And I guess I can show that a little bit more. Here, I'll just share my screen and I'll show the slides on it. I'm just going to dart around. I have some slides here, but why keep them in order?
Totally. That's a great tip, and one I haven't heard yet. So being mindful of that 60-minute delay when fulfilling a TikTok order. All right, yeah. Derek, I'll let you take it away, and I'll pop back in towards the end of the show.
Perfect. So like I said, I want to show this one use case, and then I'll get back to maybe a little bit more about TikTok Shop and a little bit more about Pipe17. But you see this one order came in at Monday at 9:01 p.m. This is in the back end of your TikTok Shop. What merchants are doing today is, pushing this over to their e-commerce platform and using that as a pseudo order management system to then push to fulfillment, like I was kind of describing. And it can work fine until layers of complexity come in. But let's just take a look. Our customers that are using Pipe17 in conjunction with partners like ShipBob, as well as TikTok Shop and many other channels, Amazon and Miracle, Walmart, whatever it may be, are able to come into their dashboard. They're able to see this order come in. So this is the exact same order, comes in automatically via API, of course, from TikTok Shop, pushed over into our backend. It's bypassing Shopify, which is actually, I think, by the way, there's costs associated with pushing orders to Shopify and using that as OMS. I think it's like 2 cents an order. Not a big deal, but you're doing 10,000 orders a month, yada, yada. You're starting to bleed a little bit of money that maybe you don't necessarily have to. It's picked up at 9:02 p.m. Now, for this order, there is a purpose-built 70-minute, they added an extra 10-minute order hold so that the order is not automatically routed. So we put a little bit of a timer on that. And then at 11:18, it's shipped out, routed over and shipped out to fulfillment. And so you can see about 70 minutes later, the process is fulfilled. So in order to create that hold in the back end of our system, it really only takes a couple clicks. You go over to order automations, TikTok hold order for 70 minutes, and boom, all orders are held. You don't need a human managing that system anymore. Even better than that, the order is getting piped into, this is your NetSuite dashboard. So if a merchant, if you're using NetSuite and you want that order kind of pushed back for financial reconciliation, you'll see the order come in here. You have what's called your GL impact for those operations nerds out there. Everything is being handled automatically. You can see how much money was actually captured at the point of transaction, and therefore how much money is going to actually be transferred to your bank account, let's say at the end of the day. And if you don't know, if you're a smaller seller, a newer seller, you get reconciliations from TikTok Shop monthly, weekly, or daily, depending on how much volume you're doing, right? So for the high volume merchants, every day you're getting, your sales amount of money, deducting all of the costs and taxes and associated fees that TikTok is taking. And you're kind of wondering to yourself, okay, I know I sold about 10 grand worth of product. How much money is actually in my bank account? And if you don't have a system of record like a NetSuite to align all of that information, you might find very quickly that due to some returns or something kind of outside of your control, the money in your bank account doesn't match the money that the channel is saying. And so by piping all this information together, and in this case, I'd say going around Shopify as your e-commerce platform and creating maybe NetSuite as your central source of truth and Pipe17 as the pipe, you're able to have more accurate information. So I skipped way far ahead. I'm just going to go all the way back to the beginning because that was just one fun use case that I like with what Pipe17 solves. But why don't I start talking a little bit about myself? I've been in e-commerce for over 10 years now. The hair is turning gray. It is a sad truth. But a lovely journey it's been. I've been in-house in e-commerce. I ran an agency servicing e-commerce brands. I was in-house at Gorgeous, customer service help desk for e-commerce and a great partner of ShipBob's. And now here in-house at Pipe17, really helping merchants understand the value of automation and technology in operational workflows, which honestly has been a challenge for me to understand because I'm more of a marketing-centric e-commerce guy. But it's quite beautiful to see how much scalability there is to replace human hours with robot hours, right? And where this is all going, the scalability of an e-commerce team has never been greater. And you can imagine in the next 5 years with certain things like AI agents and all that stuff, one person's going to be able to run quite a large and successful company by themselves, or maybe with just a couple hands on deck. I sold a company called Commerce Tech, which I demoed over 400 different e-commerce technologies to understand the landscape and help merchants find the right tools. I sold a company in the poker space once, and I've invested and mentored other people. I probably am too long-winded, so I have to go pretty fast on all this stuff. If you haven't seen TikTok Shop, it's amazing. People buy straight from the channel, then your information is saved, so your next purchase can be basically 2 or 3 clicks. Since TikTok is naturally such a discovery-oriented platform and it's full screen takeover, this is leading to a lot of discovery purchases on the channel. And so people can buy through live shopping, shoppable videos, and now you actually have a store page, which is very similar to a collections page in maybe a mobile Shopify experience or something like that. And TikTok just announced yesterday, not on these slides, that they're going to automatically insert products or similar products into all videos of their feed. So just by having a video, I think there's going to be an option for it. You could possibly, it could auto tag, like if you just hold up the brush, it'll know, find, and tag that brush. And then if it can't find that product, it'll say items that are similar to that brush. Really phenomenal experience. And it's going to make it really easy to buy products on TikTok. I'm not even going to mention too much about the difference, except you're going to have lower average order value, and it's going to be more discovery purchases than I don't know, like renewal purchases. Like you're not going here for laundry detergent, but you might I don't know, discover some sort of hat holder that goes in your laundry and decide to buy it randomly. We did the math on sales during Black Friday, Cyber Monday. TikTok seems to have increased conversion rate by about 100% more than Shopify. So what that means is that if you send people from TikTok to your Shopify store, you're actually costing yourself about 33% of your conversion rate. So you would expect if you were running a TikTok shop during Black Friday, Cyber Monday, that that conversion rate would increase on that channel. Now, I didn't take a look at things like average order value and lifetime value, and obviously there are some benefits to driving people back to your site, but this just kind of proves the point that the conversion rate is higher when you keep an on-channel experience, and thus kind of the benefits of this channel. Wise, who's one of our most successful customers on TikTok, they are doing very heavy volume, 10,000 plus orders a month on this channel, and they just launched a few months ago. Absolutely crushing it, and of course Pipe17 doing all the back end order routing components for them. It's been amazing to see how quickly they can get affiliates to promote their products, how that leads people directly back to their TikTok shop account, and how customers are buying from them on that channel. Also, by the way, Noble, customer of ours as well, and it's really exciting to hear Tom Brady and Noble merging. So big props to all of them. All right, let me tell you a little bit about Pipe17 now that you've got the rundown on TikTok Shop and some of the value proposition there. The problem that you kind of know so well in e-commerce is that as you expand selling channels, as you expand fulfillment partners, and as you expand financial analytics and back office needs, ERPs, et cetera, you can continuously add complexity to your business, having to deal with connecting all of these disparate data sources, integrations, manual processes, all the stuff we've kind of already been talking about, right? whether it's going into retail and dealing with these antiquated and annoying EDI submissions. Raise your hand if you have to do that today. Oh my God. Or if you're getting order information into NetSuite Acumatica, like I just showed, the simplest tasks can start to be overwhelming when at scale. So whether you have to manually adjust SKUs, debundle, rebundle, export orders, figure out which 3PL in your network is the best to fulfill on given geographic or inventory constraints. As the complexity increases, more things break, and we often require more human resources to solve for them, and costs begin to bloat up, right? This is the way of the past, let's say. Based on the research we've done, the average merchant is spending up to an extra 25% on internal fulfillment costs on things like manual human processes, order errors, poorly optimized order routing, things like that. And this causes an additional 2 to 5 days delay in click to delivery time. As we all know, faster deliveries lead to happier customers, higher repeat purchases, and fewer customer service inquiries. These are all the things that we want in our business, right? So Pipe17 has created a kind of, we call it a turbocharger for your operations department. We really do want to sit next to your operations team member and scale out their time. And I think about it personally from like looking at what is this person exporting from the selling channel? How are they manipulating it? How can I get that job to be done by a technology today? That's really what I think of it as, how we look into and try and solve problems for operations teams. But the core of what we do is connect all of these selling channels, back office applications, and fulfillment centers like ShipBob, of course, to connect, synchronize, route, visualize, and analyze your orders, inventory, products, returns, and fulfillments. Not only is Pipe17 used by leading merchants like Noble, Heyday, and Amorpho, we're also revered by 3PLs like ShipBob, which is why we're here today, perhaps. And we work very well with order management solutions and ERPs and warehouse management solutions. I should add that one in there too. And I want to emphasize kind of the way of the past, because a lot of people come to us thinking that we are a point-to-point connector, which is kind of what an iPaaS is designed to do, which is just connect, data from selling channel over to ERP or whatever have you. The thing about iPaaS is that they were built to be very broad pipes for technology. And so when you kind of purpose build something for commerce, you're able to make it a lot smarter. And that's kind of what we've been able to do here today. Once a connector is live for us, everyone in our platform can instantly integrate it. You don't need developer costs because everything is done with a drag and drop operational workflow builder or rule builder. And you're up and running in days instead of months. And when you want to add a new selling channel, it's just a few clicks, not a few weeks. We actually got Rip and Dip live in 15 minutes on TikTok Shop, just to let you know how fast it is. So if your team is tired of sending order fulfillments via spreadsheet uploads, you're tired of telling your CMO, no, we can't just launch TikTok Shop because it'll break our entire fulfillment process, there is a better way. Pipe17 is trusted by hundreds of brands, thousands of merchants. Would love to have you guys involved with us. Now, I've already shown you the flow from TikTok Shop to NetSuite. I just want to show you a couple more really quick, fun flows so that you can kind of understand, again, the value prop of Pipe17 and where it comes in. So here's a fun one, specific to a merchant who only uses ShipBob in Canada. I don't know why. ShipBob is a great 3PL, and I would recommend them for US use. But for this specific merchant, they only want to route orders to ShipBob if that order is taking place in Canada. So they created this Canada store routing rule. They go into the back end of our system with a couple of clicks. You just create this rule, or shipping address country is Canada, shipping address state. These are all like British Columbia, Ontario, states like that, right? Sorry, just getting over a cold. And now all of a sudden, this is an order that took place in Canada. It was ordered. You can see that there is a hold, a 3-hour hold on this order, designed by their system for similar rules about cancellation or bundling orders together. Then it's sent off to fulfillment. It's fulfilled the same day. If this was done manually, this brand would have to export these probably at 5 p.m. every single day, which means an operations team leader is staying late every night to get as many orders bundled together as they can. They'd ship it off to fulfillment, and it probably wouldn't be fulfilled until the next day or possibly even a day later than that. So you can really see the value of automating this shipment over to Canada, right? How else would you would not want to do this manually? Here's how easy it is to turn this connection on. You literally go into the back of our system, click a couple buttons to connect the APIs, and then you can sync products, shipping requests, inventory, fulfillments, and arrivals. This person isn't using arrivals, which is totally fine. And then you're like, well, Derek, that's all well and good, but like my, selling channels are going to have different mappings, right, to this, or the way that I've mapped things to ShipBob's WMS is different than other people. Well, it's actually really easy and doesn't require any code to get everything mapped just the way you want. We have our own commerce canonical model that standardizes across all selling channels, fulfillment providers, and ERPs. And then when we push out to channel, you can easily kind of change or adjust every field to what that channel needs. So there's obviously standard out of the box stuff, but let's say, for example, your shipping line 2 is always the company name and never the unit number or something like that. You could map that appropriately in just a couple of clicks. All fun stuff. I've probably gone way over time. If you want to chat more about Pipe17 and fully automating your operational workflows from click to fulfillment, visit us, pipe17.com/book-a-demo. Hit me up. I'm Derek.Haney at Pipe17. I talk about all things selling channel related, e-commerce, marketing, advertising, whatever you have. Happy to chat. That's it for me. I guess I'll leave it here for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Derek. We actually have a few questions in the chat that we'll go over. I think, one of the biggest questions and really a starting point for a lot of brands is, what's your take on FBT versus an integration with Shopify? Maybe also explaining the difference between FBT and FBM for some of our guests who just joined.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm speaking to the expert on it, right? So I'll pretend to know more than you for only a second, and then you'll probably have to take it over. Fulfillment by TikTok, which is hosted by ShipBob, is it's kind of their unique internal fulfillment channel. And the way that I've seen or heard a couple of brands do this is once you kind of hit a certain level of volume, you should ship over some pallets over to FBT because it'll be cheaper to fulfill it, from my understanding. And in some cases, TikTok is giving you some money back on shipping and fulfillment costs. I think they've ended all of that, but I bet if you're a growing brand, there might be some sort of special deal or discount that they'd be willing to give you for setting up fulfillment by TikTok. The important thing, and what Pipe17 can enable as a tool, you might not put all your inventory in FBT because obviously you're going to sell on other channels, right? Well, if your fulfillment by TikTok goes down too low or to zero, you want to switch over automatically to fulfillment by merchant or by some other channel. You have to go where the inventory is, right? So having a tool like Pipe17 to automatically make that switch as you run out of inventory based on any 3PL location, whether it's fulfillment by TikTok, ShipBob, or other, allows you to just make sure that the orders are still flowing properly and you're kind of optimizing the order routing based on what you think, kind of your priorities. FBT, FBM, I don't know, manual fulfill, whatever the case is. Send from another country if I have to, just to get the order out, but it's totally going to cost me an arm and a leg, but I'm out of inventory, So there's a whole bunch of ways to kind of optimize order routing around that. What would you add, Gina? What's your take on FBT versus FBM?
Well, we have a whole team at ShipBob that is dedicated to helping merchants get onboarded on both. ShipBob is actually one of TikTok's partners in both FBT and FBM. I think you touched on the biggest differences, like, are you fulfilling through TikTok and using their dashboard, or are you either fulfilling yourself in-house or through a 3PL? But if anybody's interested in learning more, connecting with a ShipBob TikTok fulfillment expert, you can visit our website at shipbob.com/TikTok and get connected with a specialist there. Another question we saw come up for you specifically, I think, there might have been something you mentioned. If you use Pipe17 plus TikTok, you could potentially use a different platform. It doesn't have to be Shopify.
Yeah, exactly. You can go to any e-commerce platform. This is all about your operational workflow, like how you like to do it. Actually, Wise, what they I'm supposed to share this. They were using us to properly debundle and push the orders back into Shopify. And I talked with their director of e-commerce, Logan, great guy, and he was like, but that's costing us 2 cents an order, and it's redundant because we're just going from Shopify to fulfillment. So they're like, why don't we use Pipe17 to just route around that? We'll save, thousands of dollars, right? So so your choice in operational workflow is really what it comes down to. But of course, Pipe17 integrates with all major e-commerce platforms. And again, because I see James' question here, yeah, you're using a phonics tree. I'm sure it's a great tool. TikTok and Shopify have announced their own very, very basic connector. So depending on what you need, maybe Phonics Tree is in the middle, or maybe it's also free. Just look at how you want that operational process to break down. Do you want all of your products from Shopify on TikTok Shop? Do they need to be different? Are the SKU numbers different because it's a bundle and it needs to be debundled? Things like that.
Well, thank you so much, Derek. That looks like all of the questions we have today. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on our first episode. Thank you, Derek, for being our guinea pig here. We will be posting all of this on YouTube, across social, and cutting out some special tips and tricks to deliver them in an even shorter format. We'll see you next time, and thank you for joining us on Commerce Unpacked.
Thanks for having me. Bye, everyone.